Oh, finally. Right. Old flat garden update. New phone, of course, so I don't have to worry about doing the live stream that cuts out every time I come around the front. Anyway, well, it's been growing. That's about all I can say. No Tony P. I don't know what's going on. The garden is still full of crap, and it'll probably stay full of crap. I don't know what's going on. I've just been left. But then that's life, innit? Right, we'll swing it round. Oh, we finally had rain, which is good. I've been trying to keep the pots topped up when I can. We've got this stone crop or sedum that I got from somewhere, and I cut it and put it into this brick. Oregano. It's been hard to keep these things watered, really. This little lavender, the Acer campestre field maple in the pots, doing all right. The leaves haven't been burned as yet. We've got a mint coming up at the side of the path, so this is basically where I'm getting my mint. And we've got an oak tree there that a squirrel's buried and it's come up. So I'm basically pulling out mint from this right hand side. No fruit on the black currant this year. Maybe next year. Maybe it's the positioning. Maybe it's not enough light. Maybe there's too much heat from the wall. Who knows? Field poppies. We've got some field poppies here. Remembrance poppies, basically, that have come up in this pot. There's also another oregano or marjoram here. I think that's a marjoram. This Picea conica glauca. I thought for a while that it wasn't going to survive. It didn't have much in the way of root on it when I first planted it. It's a twin stem. As you can see, there's a load of needles on the floor that I literally shook off, but somehow it has grown roots. So despite having a bare lower trunk, it is alive. So this Picea conica glauca is alive. There's a open type poppy there, couple of Tilia cordata or lime trees. These were basically pulled up from the side of Tramlink at 2 o'clock in the morning some weeks ago. Oh, zoom out a bit. We still got this black elder in the pot. I would have loved to have planted it somewhere, but I can't do nothing. There's junk and shit everywhere, and it still hasn't been taken away. Apparently there's not enough junk and shit to take it away. It's just annoying because it's affecting me mentally, having all this crap around. I'm not even being in the mood for cutting the grass because all this crap everywhere. Anyway, this Acer saccharinum in the pot. I might just have to cut my losses with it. It's struggled every year to really live. The other one over there is doing all right. I just repotted it into a bigger pot, but this one, I think I'm just going to have to get rid of it, take out the herbs, and maybe use the pot for something else. But yeah, I would have liked to have planted the elder in that corner. That's the idea. The elder was supposed to go into this corner here, but it's just, there's no way for me to, being disabled, there's no way for me to get rid of all the rubbish. Sunflower, hoping it doesn't get eaten alive. Erysimum balls purple, and there's a Cineraria silver dust there. We've got lots of feverfew. You see the feverfew's flowering now, and this is the normal erysimum. Should take cuttings off it really, to be honest, but I haven't as yet. Potatoes, you can't even see the tyres now, and the former tumble dry drum, it's under there somewhere. There's a tumble dry drum under there. These are the first ones, and then basically they're staggered. So we've got one lot, we've got a second lot of potatoes, all in tyres. It's got two lots of potatoes here. Then this was a third lot. I've just picked all the flowers off of this, so the energy goes into the tubers rather than unwanted potato fruit. See, we've got this dock plant here. I've just left it basically. It might be a mistake, but I like it. So we've got this dock plant here flowering. But yeah, we've got 3 loads of potatoes at the front. We've got a double tomato in the pot here. It's a pretty big pot, so I might be able to get away with just leaving it in there. I might have to get a cane and train it up a cane at some point. The trees are doing well. Well, the hawthorn, we've got hawthorn at the end here, and then we've got the hornbeam. There is a oak in there somewhere, not quite as strong. We've got another hornbeam and a spindle. I had to pull a little branch off of that, but it should be all right. This briar rose, we've got a briar rose here. To be honest, I need to cut it back a bit. We'll cut this lower one off, 2 lower ones off, and then clip these, make it a more compact shape. We've got the ivy climbing up the fence, so basically I need to keep chopping the top off, and maybe lower down, maybe fan it out, just have it cover a certain section of the top of the fence. So I don't mind the ivy being there, but I need to basically shape it. And there's some more here. This will need to be kept cut. More tomatoes. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4 more tomatoes in this corner. Some kind of pumpkin or squash or something like that. Hopefully, again, it doesn't get eaten alive. And there's one here, again, same, hope it doesn't get eaten. I did have another sunflower in the corner, and that just recently got nommed on. I put a load of ash here, a load of ash from the fireplace. This appears to be an onopordum, so I'm going to leave that. I had quite a few of these just come up in pots, and we have a solitary. I can't remember the name of it now. Oh no! A couple of popcorn corn plants. One is bigger than the other. Oh. And yeah, I'll put some copper wire around the outside. I found some copper wire. I put it in citric acid to clean it a while back, and now I've basically rested it on the ground. I probably should stick it in the ground, to be honest. Nasturtium, that's it. There's a single nasturtium there. And at the back somewhere we do have 3 or 4 little sweet pea plants, but they're in the shade, so this tomato's actually splitting at the top. This apple tree, it sort of suffered with this white mould, and I think the same happened last year in more drier times, but you can see it's starting to shoot off again. The bigger it gets, hopefully it will be hardier to that, and the roots will go down a bit deeper. You'll be able to fend for itself a bit better. Hart's tongue fern is looking all right in the corner. We've got lots of ferns out the front here, and this one here was planted a bit later. Lots of ferns, so things are growing. That's pretty much the front, to be honest. There's not really much going on near the front door. We've got this rose flowering as well. It might be just Queen Elizabeth, I'm not sure what variety. And we did have Ingrid Bergman, but that's finished. Didn't really get a video of it quick enough. Right, we're finally down the side. I got this, which is basically the Verbena bonariensis. I've got it from the garden centre at Buckland Squires. So I finally have one that will flower. The Cineraria Silver Dust is doing well, considering they're just in concrete boots. There's a couple of concrete boots. Another tomato at the back there, in a sunnier position. Ferns, you can see where we had the heat wave. We had quite a lot of heat. It got up to about 38. You can see where the ferns in the sun didn't like it, they burned. I just planted these, which I grew myself basically. Two more sunflowers there and there. This Partition Conica glauca seems to be doing all right, and this heather is still alive after all the shit it's been through. It's still alive. I've also got this that I rescued. There was two. One of them was smaller, it didn't survive, but the bigger one is not entirely sure what it is. Some grassy type thing. But it's in the ground. It's shooted off. It's finally happy. We've had the rain, so this dish is full of water now, and this one as well. We've got a bigger spindle in the pot. Tree nursery. We've got the cherry tree and a Bramley apple. The cherry tree I wanted to have in this corner somewhere, but can't do anything with it because there's a load of junk here that needs sorting out. So I wanted a cherry tree in the corner, and then a pond, and then two outdoor beds, but until everything's finished. Again, another Pisces Conica glauca. It has survived. More like a wild cherry that was a sucker. This, I think, is a Osmanthus. I'm not sure. I've got two of them out of the tram tracks at Harrington Road. Only one of them seems to really shot off again. There's another Tilia cordata lime that I got from the tram tracks. That pine tree may or may not survive. I don't know. The other one didn't, and this one came out of the tram tracks as well. This one seems to be all right. This is a pine tree. Again, a tram track rescue. Seems to be okay. And I've got this elm. There's this elm tree, and I basically cut a load of little stems off of it. Just left the main ones, clipped it, and mycorrhizal fungi, different sands and soil, and hopefully I can turn that into a bonsai as well. So that's an English elm tree. See, it's another small hornbeam. To think they all started as tiny little plants in cracks at the gaff, on the block at the gaff, and they've all grown at different rates. 2 of them died. This one hasn't really grown at all. We've got 2 out the front there that are basically big, going for a hedge. Funny how they've all grown at different rates. More lime Tilia cordata, lime rescues. And here's another one of the hornbeams. As you can see, it's bigger than the other one, but not as big as the 2 out the front near the wall. Strange how they're all different sizes. I mean, I would like to grow that on for just planting natural outdoors, to be honest. We've got a beech tree here, and we've got this one here which has turned out to be a copper beech. I don't even remember where I found that, to be honest, but the fact that it's turned into a copper beech is quite interesting, or it is a copper beech. So we've got 2 Fagus sylvatica here, basically beech trees. One's a copper. I've got this stuff at Buckland, not far, oh no, Betchworth. I got it not far from the Red Lion at Betchworth, at the side of the road. It's like a creeping thing. Three more hornbeams potted, basically for bonsais. As you can see, this one doing very well. It's established. This one I've only just done this year, potted up into a pot for a bonsai, and this one is in the smaller pot, yet it's got bigger leaves, which is a bit strange. So I don't know what's going on there. Bit strange. It's got 3 different hornbeams potted up for bonsais. It's clouding over a bit now. We've got 1 clematis in flower. There was 2. The other one sort of flowered low down, and then it was rather underwhelming, to be honest. I don't know why. Maybe be better next year, but we've got this one flowering. On top, we've got these troughs of sedum. It's actually a Mexican stone crop. It has yellow flowers. So we've got three troughs of that. They seem to be doing all right. They've got a few weeds in them. But 1, 2, 3, and there's a bit of fat hen weed growing in that one. And then the other one, I had a black trough. It kept falling down. So in the end, I just ended up splitting it into 2, putting them into these 2 pots. So I've got 3 troughs of this Mexican stone crop and 2 terracotta pots. And as you can see, the perennial sweet pea is doing well, and because it's trained up a trellis, it's really going for it. It's still growing, it's really going for it. I think it might be gonna rain. But you can see right from the bottom here, and it's covering this trellis. This was the whole idea, really. You can see that I put some alliums in as well, and I'm a bit late. When they were fresher, the bumblebees liked them quite a lot, but I'm a bit late. You can see there's still a bit of colour here, so 6 of them came up. These alliums, there's another one somewhere. I think it's lost inside the Here comes the rain. Here we go, look. There's an allium at the back there. We got these opium poppies, which just came up in the bed. So they've only just started. It's starting to rain now. We have another elder here. This was a rescue, and as you can see, yet another pot that's got these onopordums, I think they are, growing in. I don't know where the seed came from, but and this was a more darker leafed one. Starting to turn green now. It's just potted up, so if I ever need the plant I can actually put it somewhere. But yeah, the Acer Pennsylvanicum Davidii, is it, cross pink flamingo, look at that, that's doing really well. But I will have to keep an eye on it, because you can see there's a branch at the back here going towards the wall. I'm probably going to have to cut this branch out and encourage it to go towards the light and outwards, because this may grow a lot bigger than I anticipate. I don't know if we'll take the wall down. I hope not, but that won't. Well, there is a rose cutting in there somewhere. Seems a bit slow. Hopefully it does have root on it. Still waiting for confirmation it's going to go stupid and grow like a normal rose. Yeah, but I'm quite happy with this pink flamingo snake bark maple. It was at the tram stop at Addington for about 3 years, and then the locals decided, oh, we're going to slowly snap a branch off of it at a time each week. So I ended up digging it up from the tram stop and putting it here. It's a shame because I planted it there as a dedication to my late parents, because I planted another one in 1999 at the tram stop, Acer Capillipes, but times have changed, I'm afraid, and I ended up having to dig this one up and put it here. To demolish the wall in 30 years, you can see the bark on it is starting to look nice. Also got these lamps, solar lamps. They were literally dumped in a skip. There's quite a few of them. I took 3. One of them didn't really work properly, 2 did, so I got a solar lamp here now that I rescued. And there's another one here, and it does help at night because it's normally pretty dark, and it's nice to have a tiny little bit of light so I can see where I'm going. Strawberries, we're doing quite well for strawberries, and I gave some to Linda yesterday for baby Esima because she's a strawberry baby. You can see we've got quite a few strawberries. The ones in the bed itself don't seem to be quite so healthy. And we have got strawberries in here as well, lost among this herb Robert, which I use for herbal teas. I'm going to have to go in because it's pissing with rain. But yeah, there's still a load of shit and crap around. Not really much I can do about it. I'm disabled and I'm codependent, so I need others to help me, and they're not helping me. Well, behind me, as you saw, we've got these peppers. I'm not sure what they are. I've forgotten now. They could be hot peppers, they could be bullhorns, they could be anything. This one needs repotting into 2 pots, to be honest. So we've got 5 in here. I've tried to keep water in them. And we got this one. This Norfolk Island pine is doing okay. It should be outside really, getting some light and humidity, but oh well. Cacti are doing all right. We've got all the Christmas cactus, Schlumberger, the coleus. We got the various coleus, and the hydrangea cuttings that I took. There are only really short cuttings of Swago's pink hydrangea at the Ruined Sports Centre at Annerley. They were tiny. They were literally about this long. They're about 3 inches. But I kept them in the bag. I kept them sweating up, and they were perfectly fine. And I repotted them the once. Took the growth point out so they bush out a bit. So that's the pink hydrangea, pink lace cap hydrangea. I just call it Swago's pink hydrangea because there's a piece on the wall there that's pink and silver, and the hydrangea was pink as well, so I called it Swago's pink hydrangea. I'm hoping to put 2 of these at the Partition, the at the edge of the spring creek. So I have a couple of nice pretty pink hydrangeas at the side of the Partition creek. See, this Mammillaria harniana has been flowering. We've got 3 more. This one hasn't really done anything, but the bigger one has. It's all been watered with the spring water. Just spring water, everything's been topped up with them, and they seem to be all right. See, that one hasn't quite gathered its shit together. And we got the Gymnoclisium gibbosum. There is a little bit of growth on this Trichoceres terschekii, but it's just the one pup that's going. We've got a Gymnoclisium quailianum with a few buds on it. And this, I think it's Echinopsis infinity. Yeah, it did flower the once, but again, it's keeping these plants clean of bugs. You can see it's got new buds on it, and again, spring water. Firstly from Keston, and now from Addington Spring. It's Gymnoclisium octoteronii. Apparently the name wasn't valid according to John Pilbeam. The growth point died or got damaged. It is producing more pups. Mammillaria multiceps texana. To be honest, it needs splitting up. We've got a couple of succulents here. To be honest, I need to put the succulents on the bottom of the cacti at the top. The Phylocactus, it's had the rainwater, but it's just been a bit slow. I think again another one that needs repotting. It looks a little bit damaged. It's Gymnoclisium horstii. You can see that it is growing again. We've got another Gymnogibbosum here, Ferox, that has grown. Another Quailianum, Gymnoclisium quailianum, there's another one there. Lots of Agave utahensis or utahmensis, plus other ones. We've got other agaves here that have lost their names basically. So we've got some succulents in the corner down here. These white ones, the rounded white ones, they didn't seem to like the strong sunlight, so I moved them again. You can see that this Hallworthia also didn't really like the strong sunlight, so I've had to move it underneath. But yeah, the agaves are doing well. I always seem to do very well with this agave, Utahensis or Utahmensis. Oh dear. Problem is I've got these peppers in the way. Up top, it all seems to be doing well. I mean, there's no buds on this Notocactus hurteri. I think it's flowered once since I had it, and it was already pretty big. It's growing well enough, it's happy. Also, we've got the original Notocactus hurteri rosea luteus. The growing point got a bit damaged, it's still a bit beat up. It might end up growing cristate at this rate. Got Echinopsis Madame Pelle at the back, Parodia Warassi at the in front of it, and Notocactus Breiningi. That's Otanis, Notocactus Otanis. We've got another one here that's got buds on it. It looks pretty healthy. This Parodia, a yellow Parodia that's been flowering. These two seedlings of the Notocactus hurteri rosea luteus are being repotted, and they seem to be quite happy. I did have another one which looked a bit sickly, and I did repot it, but it didn't survive. That's a new one, Notocactus scopa. We got a couple of Notocactus magnifica or magnificus or Parodia magnificus. And this Weingartia has got buds on it now. Echinopsis subdenudata has got buds on it. That one's still got another bud on it. Echinopsis subdenudata or tufty. There's an Echinopsis here. I'm not sure what one it is. I think it's just a pup off of the one at the back there, Lochinva, but I won't really know until both of them flower, to be honest. And only the smaller one seems to have a bud on it. This, I'm hoping, is Schick Echinopsis hybrid Galaxy. It's got a bud on it, so I'm hoping that will flower. I'm confused. I've got this one here, Tuffet. Echinopsis Tuffet there with a bud on it, and we've got Echinopsis Dark Melody, which is normally the first one to flower, but it seems a bit slow. The flowers seem a bit slow on the Echinopsis this year. They've been still getting the spring water. And then we've got Echinopsis Gin and Lemon making a pretty big plant now with a lot of pups. And there's lots of flowers on that Echinopsis Gin and Lemon. And there's another one behind it with a bud, maybe two. And there's this one here. These three plants are basically Echinopsis Gin and Lemon that was split up. Unknown Echinopsis, probably the one that likes to throw out loads of tiny little pups but might actually flower. Not sure what this one is. Again, won't really know until it flowers. Echinopsis Spectre, it actually did flower, and I've got pictures of the flower. Normally I'll miss it or they drip off, but I actually got flowers of Echinopsis Spectre. Oh, right. another Echinopsis Dark Melody. It was one plant, but the cat knocked it over, so it ended up two plants. The stem on this doesn't look quite as happy, so I might have to take them two off for separate plants after it's flowered, if it does bother to flower. Tony P's Euphorbia Enolpa is doing really well here, and it has finally started to straighten up. It looks like it's starting to straighten up. It took its time, it really did, but it looks happy. Sad thing is, I did actually have flower buds on the Pherocactus stainsy pilosus for a couple of weeks, and then something happened and then they just faded, so I ended up losing the flowers, I'm afraid. It's a big plant and they're very sensitive, these Pherocactus. It's a shame because I was really excited to get flowers on that big Phero and it didn't happen. Lots of succulents in the corner there. Graptopetalum, mainly Echeveria cuspidata Zaragoza, and there's a couple of others. Another of Tony P's plants, this Commula one. The growth point seems alright. These ones are similar and they seem to be growing alright. It's just the spring water. This is a Graptopetalum as well. Echinopsis Pink Panther. That's Tony P's Pherocactus at the back. Looking at the nipply areoles on that, I think that's Pherocactus emorii. It's looking a bit etoilated, even though it's got a lot of light, but at least it's healthier. It will grow, it'll be a happier plant. Just again the spring water. We got two Chamae labivia here. I'm hoping they're ragged robin because I lost the original plant, so I'm hoping that's what they are. Chamae labivia ragged robin. No buds as yet, and we got one here, Charmocereus or Chamae labivia orchid glow. Lots of cuttings off of Echinopsis Pink Panther. We've got a random Echinopsis there. I don't know what it is till it flowers. May still not know what it is when it flowers because it didn't really have a name with it. And we've got this one here. Again, don't know. Maybe it's Galaxy. I'm not sure. Echinopsis Galaxy. We've got more at the back. They're probably Oxygona, Echinopsis Oxygona. We've got this one that's growing a bit strangely, but it looks happy enough. We've got some pups on it, and there was a pup and it ended up turning into a flower, which is a bit weird. Got myself another aloe vera. That's either Neoporteria or a Copaiapo. I'm not sure. These succulents probably should be moved underneath. They're Tony P's. Orioceras trollii seems to be doing okay. We've got this Apuntia bulbispina, and that's doing alright. The one inside the doll head seems to be struggling a bit. I think it's so old and congested now. Be hard to get it out. A larger plant of Notocactus magnifica or magnificus, and there is new this season buds coming on it. We've got two Gymnoclisium monvillii. Whether they'll ever flower, I don't know. Pherocactus hystrix, again marked up, it's struggled. I've tried to keep it watered. I don't really know the formula. but it is growing all right at the top. It's happy at the top. You can see the new growth is fine. It's just old and marked up. A little pot of Mammillaria gracilis brown spine form. Just going to leave it all in that pot. And there's more here in individual pots. Mammillaria gracilis brown spine form. We've got this Media labivia, which is sort of happy and sort of not doing much. Stenocactuses. That one flowered very well this year, had creamy yellow flowers and it flowered quite well. They lost it a while. The bigger one didn't flower. That one flowered, purple and white stripy flowers. There's a Coptogonus as well, a new plant that I've got, and that was a very small plant, but it has actually grown quite a bit. Rebutia Kaiselingii. These were potted up again. There has been a few flowers. And these were free in their own pots, and some others that needed to be split up into their own pots. That one and these three needed to be put in their own pots. It's Crassula. We've got a Turbinocarpus clincorianus there. Hoping that this Echinopsis pink diamond is going to flower, but like I said, the Echinopsis seemed to be a bit slow to bloom this year, and this one suffered with an unknown scale insect that seemed to emerge on the scene the last 2 or 3 years ago. But the plant is solid now and it's growing again at the top, and it's got buds, so I'm hoping this will flower. And this was actually my favourite cactus, and now it's just looking really tired and affected. But yeah, I need to just keep watering it and maybe put some more treatment on it just in case. This one, Echinopsis pink diamond and galaxy. We've got Selenocerius here. Always seem to struggle with getting this to a big size, and then it'll burn or something, it'll fall off, I don't know. Euphorbia obesa. Got various Euphorbia obesas. The 3 smaller ones are actually grown by seed. And we got this big one here, this big female. I literally had to repot it again, but it managed to get roots on it, and it's quite happy now. It's got lots of female flowers on it, and there's even some seed coming. Issue is reaching everything. Oh dear. And I did start outside, but I got rained off. Oh dear. But I'll do the update anyway. Right. Oh. Now we're in a better position. Another Opuntia bulbispina and a cutting of the Selenocerius. Yeah, you can see lots of flowers, and there's even seed on there. They're easy peasy to grow by seed. Another succulent plant seems to be doing all right up here. A couple more Euphorbias, Susannae and Caput Medusae. We've got this Aeonium, which seems to be doing all right. See, that one does appear to be male, and that's a female. The males seem to be a darker purple, so if you have a darker purple Euphorbia obesa, they tend to be male. The others seem to be female. Got 3 females and 1 male. We've got some aloes here, or Haworthias. Again, you can see that the sun has affected them a little bit. We've got a Graptopetalum with Mammillaria gracilis brown spine form in the middle of it. And we've got this, I think it is actually going to finally flower. It's very slow. Again, the flowers are very slow. We've got a Calicium violaceum, and there is buds on it. So I think it is actually going to finally flower. It's just a bit slow. It's again spring water. Just got to keep giving them the spring water because tap is basically deadly, and rainwater ain't much better. So water from either the Partition, Addington, Spring or Keston, but I've been going to Partition recently because I've been working there. So that Calicium violaceum should be flowering at some point. Oh, this was a naturalised amaryllis, and it did flower again, but it flowered and then we had that heat wave and the flowers just crumpled up. They didn't last long. We've got some zonal pelargoniums here. We've got pelargoniums, one either side, inside the greenhouse. We've got an Echinopsis as a flower here and a flower there and there, but it's struggled again, mealybug and maybe a bit of that scale insect. It's struggled. I've kept watering it and it's just sort of poodled along. I mean, I can't really take pups, they're too small, so it's just got to do its thing, unfortunately. And look how soft it is. It's a shame, but I don't know if I can. There is root on them. I might just have to try and get cuttings, to be honest, of get pups off of these and try and grow it again. But it'd take years and years and years for it to get to that size. And this Echinopsis airsii, I think it is, I'm not sure, or a hybrid. Yeah, that's about it. Lots of Echinopsis oxygona. They probably want repotting. That's that one that likes to produce loads of pups and not actually bother to flower. I've just left the one on there, but you can see it. You can see that it is happier to pup rather than flower. That is about it. A few mammillarias. I ain't got that many, to be honest. This one did flower. Giselle, Mammillaria Giselle, it did flower. Got some echeverias down here. That one's Pearl von Nuremberg or Metallica, and two different ones. That is about it, I think. I've gone through everything. They're all happy if you give them the spring water. But it's mainly the temperature shift going up and down, up and down. When we had that heat wave, I literally had to leave the front door of the greenhouse open because I need every opportunity to get ventilation in here, basically. I've got this live rail dolly on the floor. Oh dear. That was the rescue aloe vera that basically got thrown out of a window at the Black Horse, and it was up in the loft. It done all right in the loft. And I did repot it, and then it suffered, and then I kept watering it. It's sort of happy and it's not happy. There's a couple of this is Notocactus hurteri. It needs to be potted up on its own. I put hormone rooting powder on it in the hope I'll get some roots on it. That's Tony P's Mammillaria harniana, or some kind of mammillaria. It was old and it was suffering. and then it just decided it wasn't going to really do too good, so I cut it and I put hormone rooting powder on it, and hopefully I can get this to root again and pot it up, and it'll be a bit healthier on a not corky stem, because it seems to be quite an old plant. Right, back to the garden. Alright, we've got a little Tradescantia wandering Jew there. We've got this rosemary, there's a wheatgrass growing in the back of it. Tomatoes, we've got tomatoes in this pot. I'm probably going to have to get a cane to keep this one upright, but they should be alright. Hopefully we'll get tomatoes this year again. So there's 3 tomatoes in that pot. We just got one here, there's a tomato here. This is the last pot of potatoes. So I've got 3 big, well, I've got 3 potato containers at the front, the big one and the 2 in the tyres. And this was again another afterthought of potatoes that were chitting, but they were very late. So yeah, I'll need to get more composting, maybe top them up. So that's 4 lots of potatoes. It won't be like last year, literally this square brick bed, I dug it for the first time ever, and then last year I had a bumper crop of potatoes out of it, basically. Very good. And I tried with the sweet peas again in this corner. I tried to grow them myself, wasn't very successful, so I ended up going to a shop. I think I went to Waitrose, got a load of sweet peas, split them up and put them in, and they're much happier. Look at all this, there's so many sweet peas here. And that was my late mother's favourite flower, basically, in sweet peas. And they'll keep growing up here and they'll smell lovely. Right, again, the hydrangea petiolaris has suffered in the heat with the we had the heat wave, and you can see again, even with the white paint on the wall reflecting, I mean, that may have added to it, but it's growing again. You can see there's new growth on it again, even after all the hot weather we had, but the leaves are burned because of that 38-degree heat, and it may even be more next to the wall, but it's doing all right. We've got this rose. I was hoping it was masquerade, but it might just be a briar that came off of masquerade. So hopefully it will flower hopefully it will flower next year. It doesn't seem to be showing any sign of flowering this year. It's grown, it's put on a lot of growth, it's gone all the way up to the top, but there's no sign of any buds. And you look at the leaves, it's not 5 leaves, it's 7 leaves or 6 leaves, and normally 6 or 7 leaves mean it's a briar, but until it flowers, I don't know. Or it's just like a sucker that came off of Rosa Masquerade. But we'll just have to wait and see. And here's the cutting off my father's black grape. And as you can see, it's doing very well. It will have to be tied up at some point. We've got 2 stems and 3, we've got 3 stems, so at the end of the year I'll have to figure out how I'm tying that up. So we've got the grape, we've got this rose that may or may not actually flower at all. Hydrangea petiolaris is still going, it got burned. Right, update on the cuttings of the grapes from 275, the big villa. We seem to be positive, but again, I don't know if there's roots under the ground. I mean, I take it there is. I mean, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've got 5 of these grapes, cuttings off of that ancient grape from the old villa at 275. So that variety is going to be late 1800s or just after, maybe early 1900s. White dessert grape. It might even be a champagne grape. Who knows what it is? But we've got 5 cuttings that took. We've got more strawberries, but they don't seem to have done so well in the bed that they did in the containers. Too much of that oxalis coming up. There is actually garlic in there somewhere, garlic plants. And there is it did survive in the end. There's a rosemary plant in the corner, that was a cutting. So yeah, it's looking quite lush, things have grown. Containers on top of the wall, Mexican stone crop, lots of stuff climbing, going up. You can see a strawberry there. I'll get myself a strawberry. Oh. Oh, a bit on the tart side. Oh. Right, over here. Compost is doing well. I'm sure it is rotting. It's doing alright. Tony P doesn't like the compost bin for some reason. I don't know. I'm sure it's had its share of rain. Tomatoes that didn't really get planted out. And we've got more in pots here. I did leave some out on the wall. I left about 8 tomato plants on the wall. But these have been repotted, but not put in anything big, basically. But who knows, maybe they will fruit. To be honest, they need more light. They need to go somewhere where there's a bit more light. But I had no shortage of tomatoes. It was just didn't have any friends or anywhere to plant them. More tomatoes in there. I tried to plant tomatoes, pumpkins and sunflowers over the allotment, but by a week later they're all dead, being outdoors and exposed to the elements. Oh. Again, we've got a little bit of garlic in here lost, and some shallots, which probably, I don't know if they'll come to anything. Not enough light. Rhubarb's doing okay. Well, that's the second one, a bigger one I put in. There is another one underneath it. The original one that I put 2 in. See, it is alive, but it's crowded out by the bigger one. So I've got 1 rhubarb plant, but that was planted later. You can see that the drain, Tony P and I put this greenhouse downpipe drain in, and when it rains it does go in the hole, but you can't really tell. Got some sphagnum moss in the pot, and then some bricks with a load of moss on, basically, that I got from May's farm, Addington, in the woods. I don't know, I might go back and try and get some more mossy rocks. We'll see what happens. We've got all these containers here, basically. Got some native Thanet sands underneath. We've got what we've got underneath. Oh yeah, that's sifted. That's the sifted soil sand from the Partition. I kept a little bit of it from that 20 to 40 ton pile of doom. So I kept some of that. We've got some Thanet sand here. We've got some of the gravel, the hydroponic gravel, and this is sand from Reigate. We've got some sand from Reigate there. I was hoping to put this in the new fish tank if I get a new fish tank. And then underneath we've got powdered chalk. I basically powdered a load of chalk up, and then underneath is concrete, sand and grit. So we've got all kinds of materials here, and more chalk. And these chalk blocks came from Park Hill South, the quarry at Park Hill South. It's basically houses there now, but there is a small cliff face, and I'll pick these off of the floor. I'll pick these off the ground and lugged them into the converted buggy, brought them back, and then I started breaking some of it up for the chalk, the lime. We've got this Arfuck or bramble or blackberry here. There was another little stem on it. I cut it off. Some less healthy leaves at the bottom. It has been potted on again, and I put a couple of bamboo canes and a couple of cable ties just to keep it upright. So it's in a slightly bigger pot, and I'll let these stems grow a bit more, and then I'll tie them again, probably with just twine or string. Cow parsley is finished. It's finished flowering. It's now going to seed. The Alexanders, I don't know what happened there. Maybe they'll come back again next year, maybe they won't. They seem to grow a bit, but they didn't exactly shoot off. So maybe the Alexanders will come back again next year. They might not. The grape, I can't even reach it. We've got the Harrington Road sidewalk or roadside pavement grape, and I can see from here that there's 1, 2, 3 stems on that as well. We've got one main stem and 2 smaller stems. During the heat wave it did crumple up a little bit. The leaves crumpled up a bit, but now it's shot off again, and hopefully it will get bigger and I can train it up a pole or something up here, and then if I can get a section of trellis, I'll have it going this way and maybe over the shed roof. So we've got this unknown grape here that was a rescue from the side of the road. We've got equisetum here. I planted them and there just wasn't any rain. There wasn't, and I just have to see if any of them survive. That one on the end will. That's got a new stem coming up, but I'm not sure about the others. If anything's going to break out the ground. Got these equisetums, and they were hopefully to go around the pond if I made it, but nothing's happened in that department yet. Lots of oregano and parsley. I need to pick some more parsley really. All this rain, and it sort of knocks everything over. But we've got no shortage of parsley and oregano here. And they're just pots as they are. They're not grown by seed. It'll take too long. You're better off just going to a garden centre or getting your parsley from the supermarket, just get a whole potted parsley and just plant it straight in. You have instant plants to pick then. 2 more tomatoes here in the pots. Everything needs more light really. I should move these, but I don't know if I got the room. That is about it, I think. The hedge has got a few whips on it. I probably need to think about cutting some of them whips off again. We've had a load of rain recently. The water butt was pretty much stagnant, but we had more water in it. It's been flushing through. It's a shame really. There was lots of gnats in there, and then I got some Jay's fluid. I had no choice. I put some Jay's fluid in there, and it seems to have helped. Good old days, Jay's fluid. Problem is, it's likely to be oil based. I'm not sure how it's made, but kills bird flu. Disinfects patios, deodorises drains, cleans greenhouses, clears paths. So I basically put a cap of that into the water in the wheelie bin. I can't smell the stagnation, but then it has been slowly flushing itself over the top. As to whether I'll ever be able to use that to water anything, I don't know. But there's a fuck ton of water in here. There's a lot of water in there. But the Jay's fluid has killed all the gnat larvae, and can't really smell it now. You could smell the Jay's fluid for a while as well as the stagnation, but seems pretty fresh at the moment. So, bottled by Jay's. This stuff's been going since Victorian times. Oh dear. Yeah. This could probably do with being emptied, but need to get rid of all these old compost bags, and to do something with that bag, I don't know what, blue tit up there. There's a blue tit up there somewhere. I'm probably covering my microphone just the way it is with Samsung phone. That is about it. Too many tomatoes basically. There's a mint there, that's a spearmint as far as I know. Oh yeah, we've got this little ivy on the corner. Seems to be doing alright. If it attaches itself to the... No, it's not attached to the wall. It seems pretty healthy though. And there's a little bottle down there with some moss in it. Another feverfew. Like I said, we've got some spearmint there. There's another mint here. Probably needs more light, to be honest. Better position. And there's another mint here. Again, spearmint. Oh, I just noticed something coming up. We got a young sweet chestnut coming up at the side of this wall. Remember quite some time ago, I put sweet chestnuts in here. Oh, this one's come up. But yeah, that's mint. Couple of plantain coming up in a pot there. I'm not talking about the banana type either. Put all this stuff out. But But yeah, it's all growing. I'm happy with it. The garden's growing. It's just that there's no movement from others, unfortunately. And they're not doing their part. Oh, that is about it, I think. This ivy's getting pretty big, but I'll probably cut little bits off of it eventually. It's not a massive priority of mine. But as you can see, things are growing. It's all very happy. Yeah, we've got this little rose here that I randomly bought. I'll have to do something with it. And this Sansevieria, mother-in-law's tongue. This is going to have to be potted because it's got a root on it. I need to pot it up. Maybe this here, this Graptopetalum, that needs potting up. And we've got this spare Cinerea silver dust. Again, I might put that at the partition. But yeah, it'd be nice when Verbena bonariensis flowers. I did put a load of seed down from some Verbena bonariensis seed I found at Reigate, but Tony P spent all his time treading on it and killing them all. Yeah, hoping that these sunflowers would get a lot bigger. I'd like to have some much bigger sunflowers, not little piddly small ones. See, we got a fern lost in there as well. I think that is about it. That's the car stone from the small quarry at Lyne Lodge near the Partition. This is the car stone that they used for the bloomeries. Weird thing is, I don't think they actually know that Iron Age Roman bloomery ironworking was going on there, because I looked at a diagram yesterday and all the ironworking of that time seems to be around the Weald and deeper south in Sussex and Kent. And I was looking up the Lewis to London Roman road, and it was showing settlements and villas and iron workings. There was nothing up here right next to London. Nothing. So if that is confirmed, I don't know if I can do anything about it, but this will be the furthest north towards London example of Iron Age or Roman ironworking bloomeries, and that will be regionally important. But Croydon don't want something like that. I don't want something high profile. A golf course don't want something like that. I want to keep that shit hidden or destroyed. But I mean, I've done videos of it, so now you know that we have ancient ironworking in Addington village, even if officially they don't want to know about it. They want to keep it hidden or not bother looking for that evidence. Yeah, oh well. But remember, I found all the evidence to put ironworking at Addington village back hundreds and hundreds of years, maybe over 1,000 years. 1 hour, 15 minutes almost. Oh, right. Again, we've got this rose cutting. We've only got the 2 now. Again, don't know if there's any roots, and it's not growing much. The stem is still green, but you need to push out some roots, mate. Same with the other one. And this lime tree, as you can see, it began to suffer in the heat. It's just not big enough really to keep itself hydrated at the moment, but it's happy enough. than when it was in a pot at the garden centre for 2 years or more. Got a little rose here flowering. And the escallonia over there, that was covered in bees last week, literally. The bees loved, the bumbles especially, there's one on there now, the bumbles loved that escallonia. I also need to cut back this berberis, probably Thunbergii or something like that. I need to cut it back, but I'm going to leave it to go up a bit and fill this gap here. You can see that I cut back the hebe and it has shot off again. It's grown back again. Oh, the birch during the heat wave again was suffering a bit. It looks healthier now, happier now, but it's just going to be one of these beech trees that is going to be a weedy specimen. It's going to grow, it's going to be sparse in appearance. We'll have to see if it actually grows into a proper big birch, but I have a feeling that this is the kind of birch it'll be a tree, it'll be a weedy tree. Again, another plant that suffered in the heat wave of up to 38 degrees. You can see this sweet chestnut, it got burned, the leaves got burned, but it's come back again. To be honest, I need to plant this out in the wild somewhere properly, because it's not going to do any good in a pot. Again, maybe another for the partition, area around the partition. That is about it, I think. I've not cut the grass. We've got this trough. It looks pretty weedy and but there is ice plant in there, cedar ice plant. There's a Sempervivium arachnoideum. That was geranium species. Cranesbill, we've had cranesbill in here. It needs weeding, but we've also got this. I've got to cut the grass before all this goes to seed. No issue with this Picea conica glauca. It's slowly growing, it's quite happy there. Got another little rose here. But it's just a big mess out here, so I'm not going to spend too much talking about that. I think I'm going to end it there, really, because I need to get food. But I've done an update, finally. I've finally done an update. The garden's fine, everything's growing, but I'm not really receiving any help. Everything's stalled here, in the garden and in the flat. I really don't know what's going on, but that's modern life now. You've got to fend for yourself, even if you're disabled and you can't really do fuck all. And this is why I do the gardening, because I know that I can do an expertise in gardening and maybe growing vegetables. And Ishmael next door, he literally calls me a farmer. How am I a farmer? But I mean, I feel honoured he calls me a farmer. But yeah, I mean, the garden's fine. I just wish I could get rid of all the rubbish and crap and move on and have small building works done, but I don't really have anyone to help me to move it all forward, unfortunately. Right, okay, I'm gonna make a move because I need to go into town and get something to eat. An hour and 20 minutes. Thanks for joining me. Full update on the Olds Flat garden. Pretty much all of the plants, all of the names. DJ's a nerd, that kind of thing. And I'll catch you on the next video.